Hey everyone, welcome to the 10x Your Success Story Online, a summit where 30 experts will share their skills, secrets, and shortcuts to help you achieve your most ambitious dreams. My name is Jerick and I am your host. Our guest is a serial entrepreneur with the heart of a tinkerer. He runs an eyewear business that makes 75% of its monthly sales through online. He also founded the local Facebook ads seminar and coaching group that teaches Filipino business owners how to run proper Facebook ads that get scalable results. He's also the creator of Leads Overload, a lead gen method that helps business owners and online marketers generate 20 to 150. Wow, that's a lot. Qualified paying customers every month. His work focuses on service-based businesses in the Philippines and Australia, mainly in solar power, roofing companies, construction contractors, chiropractors, and dentists. Let us welcome Rowil Ruelo. Hey, bro,
Yeah.
what's up?
Hello there.
How
Hello
are you
there.
doing?
Yeah.
All right, so you've obviously achieved a lot of things in life, right? I
Right.
mean, you said that you found an eyewear company where majority of your sales come from online channels, and right
Yes.
now you serve service based professionals here in the Philippines and abroad, mainly in Australia, right? And you said that what helped you achieve all of this is learning on the job. So
Right.
how did this core skill help you 10x your success?
Right. Okay. So I want to start with you know, like most of online entrepreneurs that are Filipinos, we are skilled. Excuse me. We are very skilled in a lot of things, and these foreign employers prefer us over the other races because of our familiarity with the English language. We're pretty good with the language, and so um, it was very easy back then to get hired. And when I started. When I started doing VA work, I started VA work,
Mhm.
graphic design, data entry. I did everything, and I found my it was just a way for me to fund whatever I did, whatever I was doing that time, playing music, going to bars, partying. Then I realized it was an opportunity actually to learn because these people they run um, big businesses that actually make real money. They even pay you a lot of money to do basic tasks.
Mhm.
So it was it was I was a little late in realizing that what I had was a really great opportunity to to learn the business, how they do it. And so that was what I did. I was learning on the job. I was Once I realized that I was more interested. I was actually very invested in how um, things worked within my employers or my clients business. And so I would even ask them questions of even when
Mhm.
it's already not part of my not part of the job that I signed in for. I ask them questions, and actually they even tell me that, hey, this is not part of your job. You just have to stick to the job description. But I was so interested in what they did, and actually in the back of my head, I was like, it's like the ultimate Filipino VA dream to be the actual boss of your business. And uh, after everything, when you've learned everything, you try to see yourself that you are actually the person who wants to hire a VA who works for you, right?
Right.
So yeah, that was what I did. I just learned on the job. I learned how they generated leads. I learned how the sales process works, and that was it. That was how I took all the skills that I've learned from that and started my own online marketing agency. Right.
That's really good to hear because it's because a lot of people um, have discovered online marketing, right? I mean, we've discovered freelancing, right? And we
Right.
most of the time Filipinos start as a VA, but rarely do we grow out
Yeah.
of that job. So what inspired you to to grow that grow from that?
Yeah, I think a lot of Filipino virtual assistants would relate that a lot of jobs they tell you that this would take 8 hours a day, but actually it just takes 4 hours. So
Yeah.
you would realize that this is so damn easy, and you can actually. It's very easy to imagine that the business that your employers or your bosses are doing, you can do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And so that's what pushed me, and I just learned and learned. And sometimes you also realize that although you get paid well compared to the Filipino average salary, but you also get you can't help but notice the opportunity there that these people are willing to pay you 50,000, 80,000 a month for repetitive job, and they must be making a lot of money from the work that you're doing for them. So I had to bypass the boss and be the boss. Yeah.
That's really an interesting story, very interesting, because not a lot of people would think about that. I mean, right? Sometimes we settle on being a VA, but
Right.
as I've said, we rarely go out of our way to learn the business ourselves, because
Yeah.
we tend to be complacent. But
Right.
really, I'm curious, brother. How did you get started on this online, online thing, online jobs? How did
Sure.
you get to discover being a VA?
All right. So I was a college dropout. During college, I stopped going to school at second year, and so I played music on the side just to fund my party lifestyle, and so it wasn't enough for me, and they don't get paid well here in the province, so I had to find another way to fund my party lifestyle, and so I found onlinejobs.ph. Could you imagine? And that's actually where I found some of my best clients, and I still work with them until now, and
Really?
yeah, yeah. I found some of those are employers, and then I started reaching out to them when I started my agency, and they actually responded, "Yeah, hey, we want to work with you," and that is it. And sometimes, to be fair, naman with the VAs, the Filipino VAs, transitioning to being the boss of your own business is not for everyone as well. Some people prefer, sitting down, and once it's 5 p.m., work mode shuts down. But it really depends on the type of person that you are. And for me, I think that that's the type of person that I am. If I see an opportunity there, then might as well dive into it. You can do it.
All right. So
Yeah.
let me just recap your story, because a lot of people are going to listen to this. And
Yes.
so you started as a you wanted to fund your party lifestyle thing,
Right.
right? And that's how you discovered onlinejobs.ph.
Mm,
And that's how you started as a VA. And then you actually become interested in what your bosses are doing, right? To
yeah.
the point that
Yeah.
you're actually asking them
Mm,
about teaching other stuff which are way out of your job description,
right.
right? And then
Right.
from there you kept on going and going, and then until the time that you started your own agency,
Right.
right?
Right. So I want to go back. I'm sorry about that. I just keep on doing this, going out of topic. But anyway, let's talk about e-commerce. How I got into e-commerce was I got hired through Online Jobs PH by a Canadian employer who was selling pharmaceutical products in Canada. So that's what I did. I did data entry. I did all the product design. I even designed packaging for them, which, by the way, they are still using now. I don't get paid anymore, but that's another story. So yeah, it's all right. And so I learned that the guy does not have a factory. The guy does not have inventory. He just is the middleman between the manufacturer and the consumer. So I was very interested in that. He was just being the middleman and leveraging the internet. And so I did that for myself at the age of 19 years old. I contacted suppliers, and I created my own website, and I created a brand for myself, which, by the way, is Bayod Eyewear Philippines. We create bamboo eyewear, and so that's what I did. It's been running for 4 years now, and the sales are good. We have a few consignments in the local area here in Mindanao, and yeah, like you said earlier, 75% of our sales are coming from online purchases. So still staying true to the roots of the business, which is e-commerce. So that's it.
Bam.
And yeah, bro, 19 years old. I'm
Damn.
crazy.
I mean, it's blowing my mind, because everyone thinks that building a business means you need to create your own products, right? And
Right,
you need to take care of the distribution and everything.
right,
But
right.
you as young as you are, you realized
Yeah,
that you could be the middleman, the one who markets the product, and then just
yeah, yeah,
once you sell something, and then that's when you're going to get a supply from your supplier, and
yeah,
then you're
Yeah.
going to ship it, right? So that's really a
Right.
good idea for a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, it's known as drop shipping, right?
Yeah. Drop shipping. Mm.
But that's really a good business model, especially if you find a niche,
Yeah.
right? An untapped niche. All right. So anyway, moving on, brother. Um,
Right.
you've obviously had a lot of experience already. I mean,
Right.
from being a party person, right?
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
To building a business, to having your own agency, from becoming from being a freelancer, you now have your own agency. Do you have any other experiences that you want to experience, and what's driving you to achieve those?
Yeah, definitely. I think if there's something that I want to achieve more, I think it's more on a personal, it's more internal. As
Mhm.
it's easy to, it's not easy, but the easiest part of doing this business is, diving into every opportunity. You see the potential in e-commerce, you head on to e-commerce, you see the
Yeah,
potential in online marketing, you go to online marketing. But then when the workload starts to pile up, you have to have discipline, man, and I think that's where I'm missing out right now. I need to improve more on that. It's more of internal. If there are things that I want to change, more internal, better client management. Things can get seriously out of hand when you're running your own business, and that's
yeah.
also part of what I love about it, talking to people, talking to business owners. And yeah, I just want to if there's anything that I want to experience in the future, I would probably still be doing the same thing, but just with a better workflow and a better skill in managing clients.
All right. So,
That is it.
Rowell, what's your vision for the next 5 years? I mean, what will your company look like by that time?
Right, right. In the next 5 years, I would like to see the same clients, but with better results. I really would like to keep my circle small, and so I want to see and grow with them. And then at the same time, setting aside, the business side of things, I also want to have more time to um, do my seminars and workshops for online marketing and e-commerce. It's just my way of giving back, and I really love teaching people, and I really love sharing my thoughts and ideas and what I've learned in the past years in my experience. And that is it. So, better clients, better situation with my client, and more time with spreading the advocacy of online businesses and e-commerce. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Now let's go to the meat and potatoes of
Right.
our interview of the summit, which is really about um, um, a hypothetical situation.
Right.
Let's say that you lost everything. I mean, or you lose everything, right?
Right.
All your assets, all your business partners, all your contacts, um, everything. Your money, your
Right.
following, etc. Those
Right.
people who know you.
Right.
And the only thing that remains is your core skill, which is learning on the job.
Yeah.
What are your 3 steps, or what 3 steps are you going to take to get everything back and 10x your success?
Right, right. Okay. So I'm gonna base my answer on what I did before. Okay, so the first step that I'm going to do is I'm gonna find myself a really good boss,
Yeah,
because I've lost everything. For some reason maybe the internet is gone
yeah,
during that time, and so I'd be useless. So I had to find a boss that is really great, or a mentor, if anything. And once I find that guy, that's the first step. And then the second step would be I would do my core skill, which is learn on the job and just do everything that I can learn from. I would let go of my time, because that's what I did. Um, um, Building to what I have now, I actually lost a lot of time with my personal life, and I believe that there are um, moments for everything. There's a time for
mhm,
relaxation, there's a time to teach people, there's a time to learn. And so I think this would be my learning phase, and I would sacrifice a lot of things on the second part. And then in the third part is to never betray whoever is teaching me, to never
uh,
betray my boss. Always give them credit. And I think it's gonna open a lot of opportunities for you when you don't burn bridges, and you just keep on creating new relationships and keeping the old relationships that you already have. I think that is the best way to succeed, because after all, it's not just about business. It's also about enjoying and finding joy in the business that you do. So that is it. Number one is to find a good boss or a mentor. Number two is to learn, seriously learn. And then number three is to always look back, appreciate everyone who helped you. And I think that is how I'm going to 10x my success.
All right. So you said that your step one would be to, find a good boss. Then your step two would
Right.
be to apply your core skill. And then step three would be to never betray your boss. I mean,
Yes.
you're going to always give them credit, and
Right.
you won't burn bridges, right? So
Right.
let's dive deep into every step, right? When you
Right.
say find a good boss, how are you
Mm.
thinking of doing that, and how do you classify a good boss from a bad or mediocre boss?
Right, right. That's a good thing now, because we have to clarify. Most of the time, we hate our bosses, and it's because we're looking at the relationship of you and your boss. So what I mean by finding a good boss is, don't look at how he treats his employees. That you have to consider that definitely, or else you'd be off the door or outside the door in the next 3 days or something. You have to look at how he or she runs his business. So that's it. How does he treat the clients, his templates? How does he, onboard his clients? How does he talk to his clients? How does he make his clients feel? You have to also look for a boss that makes their clients feel good. So like that, you have to look at how he runs the business, and not focus on, really, because your boss will always nag on you, always breathe on your shoulder, because he wants to get you in line. So look at how he runs the business, and learn from it, really learn from it. That's it.
All right. So do you have any other qualities that you look for in a boss
Yeah.
besides from
um,
how he runs his
sure.
business?
Right. Aside from running a business, of course, I was blessed enough to work with bosses who are very customer centric. They always put the best interest of their clients in front of them, all, and sometimes even sacrificing billable hours. Yeah, they even do that because we get paid. We will definitely get paid. Now it is our job to deliver results. So sometimes they have to sacrifice. Always look for a boss that is customer centric, because you're going to learn from them. Might as well learn from a customer centered boss.
All right. What's the most memorable experience that you have with the customer centric boss?
Right, right. Let me see. Customer centric boss. Yeah. He always, actually, this is what he always does. He gives out a proposal, and so they agree on a proposal, and then he adds in a bonus. For example, a lead generation arrangement, but then he does not include a landing page design, and then he throws that in, and just says that, hey, I wanna make this thing work, so I'm just gonna give this free of charge. I don't know if he's genuine or anything, but that really creates an image of being customer centric and adding more value to the service and over delivering, and I love that.
I mean, that's really a good thing. I mean, not a lot of people. It's easier to get, to close a client, but it's not as easy to please a client and to maintain a relationship, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's fascinating that your boss is doing that just to provide value and
Right.
over deliver. All right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
after you have found a good boss, you said that you're going to apply your core skill, right?
Mm.
It's going to be your learning phase. If I
Yeah.
may ask, what's the
Right.
first skill that you would want to learn in your boss or from your boss? And then how are you going to progress from that?
All right. I'm gonna base it, for example, with my old job, with the boss that what I did was, I actually learned everything that he did. I took templates. That's the key part. You don't have to recreate everything. You have to steal like an artist. So what I did was, I took his templates, man. Like, how does he create these questionnaires? How does he create these forms? I just took them in, and I created my own. Definitely not imitating from them. I need to, spin it off. I templates, definitely the templates, or treat your boss as the template. Wow, mind blowing. Treat your boss as the template. That's why you have to pick wisely. Going back to number one. But anyway, yeah, you have to. What I did was I just learned from him everything that he did. He had. But I also have to give the guy credit because everything that he wanted me to do, he created a video tutorial for me.
Oh,
So
nice.
he was really great, man. I mean, all the things he taught me 3 years, 4 years ago, I'm still doing them right now. So yeah, that's it. I just templates, and also focus on the most profitable parts of his business. So, for example, the profitable parts of our business before was lead gen using Facebook ads,
Mm.
and so I learned the hell out of that aspect in online marketing, and yeah, it has been profitable, and that's where my business gravitates around. Yeah, most
Awesome.
profitable part of the business. Yeah.
Right. So, you said that you are going to focus on, looking at templates and then modeling them, right? Not
Yes.
not actually stealing and swiping them, but
Wink, wink.
modeling them. Yeah. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
but also, focusing on the most profitable parts of the business,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, because a lot of businesses out there would be, would have in their own business a lot of products that are going to sell, but as we know, in the 80/20 rule, right,
Yes.
20% of the products or the services is
Yeah.
responsible for 80% of the sales. So it's,
Yes.
you said that you focus on learning the 20% because
Yes.
that's what.
Pareto principle.
Yep,
Gotcha.
exactly. All
Nice.
right, and then number three would be never to betray your boss. uh,
Yes.
how do you mean by this? How are you going to, give credit back to him? How are you going to pay
Yeah.
him?
Yeah. All right. So how we ended our boss and employee relationship was not really the best way to end a relationship. So that was a learning experience for me because while I was working for him, this was 4 years ago, 3 years ago. While I was working for him, I took clients in the local area. So
Oh,
yeah, I was working for him full time. It was a full time job. It was paying well. But then, I had like Michael Gerbers. He called this the entrepreneurial
oh yeah.
seizure. That yeah, I can do this myself. So, and then I was watching a lot of Gary V stuff. So while I was I was working, I was hustling, but I was able to double my income, my monthly income by doing that, working full time with my former boss and then handling local clients here. And so yeah, he actually noticed that I was not as effective as I used to. So he told me that, hey mate, because he's Australian, hey mate, I think you want to be somewhere else. And I was rude enough to answer him, saying that yeah, I agree, I want to be somewhere else. But so that was not the best way to end things, and I learned a lot from that. That if but then we got back together. We started to catch up and actually share business. A few clients, white labeling, which by the way is a good
Yep.
business model. That's why always make friends with your boss, your former bosses or your old clients, because their white label is a crazy, it's a crazy opportunity. Yeah, so we have some white label deals with them, and um, yeah, it's very important to not betray them. If I could go back to the past and ended that relationship, we're okay now, but during that moment, if I can go back to that, I should have handled that situation better. And so yeah, it's not necessary. That part of splitting up is not necessary, so we could have ended it better. And if you are thinking about it, dear viewer, if you are thinking about that, doing what I did, please don't do it. Handle it better than I did, because white label, it's crazy, it's crazy.
All right, so that's a really good advice because, some of our viewers are still in the corporate job, or
Right.
some of them have, full-time job, maybe working at home. So it's good that you said to, build relationship and don't burn bridges, and always
Right.
give, if you've learned something from them, you give them credit on your posts,
Right.
and always give them, thanks. Anyway, thank you for giving us your three steps. Again, your step one would be to find a good boss. Step 2 would
Right.
be to apply your core skill, which is learning on the job. And then
Right.
step 3 would be to never betray them, never outshine the master, as you know.
Right.
Uh,
48 laws of
yep,
power.
Robert
Yeah.
Greene said.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, let's go to the last question. What
Right.
what are you looking to contribute to the world, and how are you going to achieve that?
Right. What I want, is because I know that there are a lot of people out there who have, similar experiences I did. Dropped out of college, made bad juvenile decisions, and the internet is really a place for second chances, man. Not only the church, the internet is a place for second chances. So, like, there's a lot of opportunity. So I want to be a person to, help spread that message that, if you missed school, I'm not saying that school is not important. It's very important, and yeah, you should go to school if you can, or if you still have time. But the internet is really a place of unlimited possibilities, and I want to be a guy who is like a source of information or has an inspiration. And what am I doing to do that? Is that we do seminars and we do workshops, some paid, some free, and even just mere posting online about the opportunities of, yeah, it helps a lot of people. When was the last time 20 people took time to listen to what you said? It's happening on Facebook, man. They're liking. And also very important to note that not everybody who likes your those who do not like your post are the ones who are paying attention. So yeah, so I just want to be a guy who helps in, more hands on deck. I want to be one of the hands on deck in spreading the good news of online marketing, of running an online business, because it really helps a lot. And it goes beyond the limitations of working in an office. And
Yeah.
if it's for you, then good for you, man. You're gonna get paid well. And so that is it. I want to be that guy who pushes that message out there.
Awesome, awesome.
Right.
By
Right.
the way, I have a question, last question,
Sure.
because we forgot to touch about this. Can you tell us shortly what is that leads overload
Right.
system that you created?
Right. Okay. So the leads overload is a very basic system based on the tripwire concept of marketing.
Okay.
So it involves running a Facebook ad. It
Mm-hmm.
involves creating a chatbot or
Okay.
a contact form, a survey form on your website. So basically, what it does is it's going to take your offer to where your market is at. So, what is where your market is at? Not physically, um, not even platform based. Because a lot of people say that, hey, your market is on Facebook, but where your market is at psychologically. I mean, just one example that is in the ebook is that I showed an example of a plumber cannot sell plumbing services to a person who has no broken faucet.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what that is. So it helps you. So it helps you create a better qualifying questionnaire for qualifying leads for your business, and mixed with technology of chatbots to actually ask for them, then automate everything. It makes business easier for them. So in that guide, there are going to be 3 lessons before we dive into the technical part of creating your tripwire questionnaire. So uh, may mga there are fundamentals, and so I think it's really helpful. And at the last part, I'm gonna there are also special messages there, and a display of why it's working and everything.
All right. Do you have any free resources for our audience?
Yes, leads overload. That's it. It's a free ebook. Of course, you have to opt in and give your emails.
Yeah.
That's how it works, man. Lead magnet. Here we go. But yeah, leads overload. I promise you that if you just download it, it's 30 pages of value, hashtag value, and you just download it. I don't really put out email broadcast that often because I'm lazy like that. But um, surely for sure it's going to be it's going to be very helpful for you. Leads overload. Get 20 to 150 new and highly qualified leads to your web by using your chatbot or website, and you can just set it up in less than 30 days.
All
That
right.
is it. Leads
We're
overload.
going to paste the link at the bottom of the video so that our audience could download it.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
leads overload ebook. Thank you
Yeah.
for giving the time, Ruil.
Yes.
And I really learned a lot of valuable stuff here on
Right.
the interview. So thank you very much, and have
Yes,
a
and I
great
would like to thank you. No, don't go first. I would like to thank you, Jarek. You've been a pleasure to talk to, and I'm gonna add you on Facebook and stalk
Yep.
you. And so, yeah, nice meeting you, bro. And
You too,
to
bro.
everyone who's watching, if you have any questions or anything, you can PM Jarek or you can PM me. I'm very kind. Messenger, Facebook, email. Yeah, see you on the eSpace. So that is it. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
Jarek.
Thank you. Have a great day, Ruil.
Peace.